presidency of 2022 was mine already. Nanalo na ako sa surveys, lahat ng tao solid na united na for my candidacy. Pero I gave it away because I felt I had to do some other things other than being president of the Republic of the Philippines. So kindly, would you like to comment on that?
Then why didn't she run? If she had it in the bag, she should have... Dapat tumakbo siya. You know, I mean, 2025 na eh. 20, di ba? Ngayon mo pa sasabihin yan. Di sana tumakbo siya. Tsaka yung presidency, kita naman nating lahat sa history, destiny yan. Eh, kung talagang para sa kanya yon, then dapat para sa kanya yon. Sorry, kasi di ba, I mean, what was that statement for? Then she should have filed to be president, to run for president, but she didn't. She filed to run for vice president, and now she's our vice president. So, that's what it is. Yun siya.
Would you also like to comment on this statement? Yes. I think this is particularly for the House members. Huwag nila ako i-gaslight into saying na ako ang dahilan ng kaguluhan na ito. Ang kaguluhan na ito ay nagsimula sa terrorism nila, sa harassment nila, sa threats nila sa mga personnel of the office of the Vice President. I mean, particularly about the Good Government Committee hearing po.
Miss Marian. Hindi. To put it quite frankly, hindi naman, you know, if there's smoke, there's fire. Eh, yung mga ganyan naman, it started with a speech of Congressman Valeriano. Dinala sa committee, nag-hearing, and in the course of those hearings, ang daming lumabas. Ang daming acknowledgement receipts, ang daming lumabas na pwede naman sanang sagutin. And it's not gaslighting. Again, it is what it is. Ang dami, hindi naman, di ba? Kami, nagpapagod kami, nagpupuyat kami para silipin yung mga dokumento na yon, para isa-isahin. And ang dami naming nakikita. In fact, marami pa kaming nakita na hindi pa namin na itatanong. So, hindi siya terrorism on our part na we're terrorizing the OVP. Had they answered the questions from the very beginning, din sana tapos na sana yung mga hearings ngayon. Ang problema, they spent so much time not attending the hearings, and now that they are attending, diba? So, kung sana nung umpisa pa lang pumunta na sila, then sana tapos na, nasagot na sana nila. Yun lang.
Well, ganito kasi Maria, no? We're actually promote what we're trying to exercise here is the mandate. Is the mandate of this office. I mean, the mandate of the legislature. The only way for us to really find out is to hold these inquiries, no? And to hold anybody accountable. Yun lang man talaga yung pinaka gusto natin mangyari in aid of legislation. Tama pa yung sinabi ni Kong Pami na we are not pinpointing a specific person here. It's just so happen that the allegation of misuse of public funds are all directed to the office which occupies right now, which the Vice President occupies right now. Hindi naman ho natin kasalanan yun. Diba? Sabi nga ni Pami Tadhana, nagkataon po na naging Vice President siya. So number one, the issue is there. There are so many questions that up to now have not fully answered. There are so many questions and the manner by which these confidential funds were spent. There are questionable ARs, which I guess only the officers in charge of encashing these funds and redistributing these funds, releasing these funds, can be fully supply us the answers, the correct answers. Unfortunately, during the course of our investigation, there seems to be an evasion, a direct evasion, to a point that there was a deliberate is a deliberate refusal to attend to a point of sa palagay ho namin sa committee it's an attempt to frustrate the committee in finding out the truth and for a possible filing of a sound legislation that can rectify these rules. So ganun lang po. I think we should focus on the issue and not to dwell on concerns that may divert our attention, which is to hold anybody accountable and to promote transparency in government.
In addition po siguro, and to answer the question of Marian of TV5, I think the two quotes mentioned were interrelated in the sense na nalilis po yung issue. There, she's answering the issue by bringing up politics, yung presidency. But I think what we have to note here is that this issue goes way back po, no? Before the Good Government Committee and before people were talking about dahil po ito ay in relation to the presidency, whether 2022 or 2028, we had questions na po. And this started with no other than yung the budget hearings natin, which was supposed to be sponsored by Congressman Adyong. Yun po, doon po yung nagsimula before anything on politics or anything about which what. The question is really how the budget was spent, how the confidential funds were spent, and the failure to attend to that, the failure to defend it, although it had its corresponding slash in the budget, it's not sufficient po. And kaya nga po pumasok in good government. So, to answer the issue by saying po that this is related to politics, I hope we could set that aside. Whether a certain person feels na sa kanya yung presidency, dati naman, or if it's about the future presidency, we have to set it aside because what we're talking about here is yung accountability doon sa expenditure of the confidential funds. And it just goes to show, it goes back to that point. We've had this question during the budget, we've had it near the committee hearings, and we will continue to have it until we have answers. If the OVP officials, what was the term a while ago, they're terrorizing or harassing, had they appeared earlier, had they answered our questions during the budget, baka tapos na po yung ating, we wouldn't have had to come to that committee hearing. So I think that's where we're coming from. This is a mandate constitution, powerful first, together with oversight. Yun lang naman po yung natupad po namin dito.
Message ni BBM with that. May ceasefire ba?
Yung sa good government, we were supposed to meet Friday, tama ba? No, we were supposed to meet Friday. We were supposed to meet Friday, Marian. And I remember, ako yun, I actually called the chairman na I was of personal opinion kung maaari bang i-postpone yung hearing dahil nabanggit nga ng ating Vice President na she was going to skip the NBI, yung patawag ng NBI, dahil kailangan niyang pumunta sa hearing. So, and the committee agreed to postpone the hearing. So, actually, dapat nung Friday nag-hearing tayo. And then, for sure naman, within the day or tomorrow, maglalabas kami ng schedule kung kailan.
Ako, mag-react lang ako dun sa word na ginamit mo, Miss Maria, na ceasefire. Kasi in the first place, we're not in war with anybody. We're not doing this against anybody. We're actually doing our job. There's a question of accountability. There's the issue on holding transparency in government affairs, especially if it concerns the utilization of public funds. So, wala akong giyera dito. Ito po ay mandato ng legislatura. Ito po ay binigay ng Constitution na dapat, hindi lang mandato, it's an obligation and responsibility. So I don't see why some people look at this as something na gera. So to me, hindi yung ceasefire, we just do our job. We'll continue to do our job. And wala po kaming ginigera sino man, kanino man.